What's up, Iowa Wild fans, and welcome into episode 2 of The More You Know with Joe. Today's guest is Connor Dewar, who's camped out in Manitoba. Dewey, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. Just before we started, you mentioned you saw today that Alex Tanguay has taken a offer with the Detroit Red Wings to become an assistant coach, so no longer with the Iowa Wild staff after a couple of years as an assistant coach. How much did Coach Tanguay help you at the AHL level?
Quite a bit. Not just his insight, but his confidence in me and trusting me to play when I was a younger guy helped me a lot.
How have you been outside of, I'm guessing the quarantine that you had to endure going back to Canada? Where have you mentioned earlier Stonewall, Manitoba before we got started. What have you been up to?
Uh, Not a whole lot, really. Just trying to get around and see everyone within the guidelines and rules that Manitoba has in place for COVID, and just try to get caught up with friends and family before I had to start. Just started working out again this week, so I had about 2-3 weeks of vacation time there after my quarantine.
And a happy birthday to you. Turned 22 last week. How'd you spend it?
I was hanging with my buddies all day, but yeah, it was fun. But I decided after turning 21, I don't think I'm really excited to my birthday anymore.
Well, maybe when you hit 30,
Yeah, maybe it's
an
about
older, more seasoned Connor Dewar at that point. Connor Dewar, of course, my guest here. It's episode 2, The More You Know with Joe. We'll have our official questionnaire coming up in just a couple of moments. 12 goals for Connor this past season, 6 as a rookie. So in like 30 fewer games or so, 20 fewer games, whatever it was, you ended up doubling your goal total in what was a very strange and unique season. How comfortable were you on the ice this year as far as production offensively?
a lot more comfortable. With the taxi squad, there's a bit more opportunity for us in Des Moines, and got me more power play time and more penalty kill time and even 5-on-5 time, and just being put into more of an offensive role and being able to play higher up in the lineup because of the absence and the space I was there because of the taxi squad.
You've been watching any of the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Yeah, quite a bit. We grew up Montreal Canadian fans in my house, so my dad's always got their games on, so I've been following their run pretty closely.
Well, they're having a heck of a run. Game 2 is just a couple hours from now. What did you see in Game 1 from the Canadians in the Lightning matchup, and what do you expect in Game 2?
I think Montreal was just kind of on their heels and not quite ready, maybe a little bit nervous, and Tampa just looked like they knew what they're doing out there.
Tampa Bay is a pretty dominant squad,
Mm-hmm.
but Montreal's had a lot of success this postseason. How amped up is your dad and the rest of the family for what the Canadians have been able to pull off so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to watch him. He's been excited. He's always texting John with all his buddies who cheer for other teams, so it's been nice.
You mentioned earlier the taxi squad, so you were, put into a bigger role with Iowa. But at the end of the year, you had a chance to be a Black Ace and go up and watch some of the Minnesota Wild playoff run and their battle against the Vegas Golden Knights. What did you make of the Black Ace experience?
It was great to be up there and be involved. I think it's a positive note to be asked to go up there, and then just to be around the rink and watch all those games in person. It's a different feeling of intensity in the playoffs, so it was really cool to see.
Nico Sturm this year had a huge impact on Minnesota's roster. And I mention him because you played with him as a rookie a couple of years ago. Watching him, knowing how close you are, is he a guy that you can kind of look at as a comparable, not so much style of play, but just, hey, I'm this close to maybe going up and spending the season with Minnesota, or at least cracking their roster at some point and making an impact?
Yeah, it's cool to see Nico have success up there. Obviously, I think we play different styles of game. He's a lot bigger than I am, but to know that it's close and that guys that you're around they can do it. And if I could take something from Nico, it'd be his approach to every day around the rink and just how good of a pro he is.
Did you watch episode 1 with Mitchell Chafee, the More You Know with Joe episode 1?
No, I didn't watch all of it. I popped in for a few seconds and then I popped out.
You popped in live though?
Yeah, I did pop in live.
All right. I appreciate that. I'm sure Chase does as well. All right. So to the official questionnaire, which the questions will be very similar, in fact, identical. So hopefully you didn't cheat too badly, but some will be off the cuff, some will be hockey related, and really just trying to give the fans a little insight into Connor Dewar away from the rink. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. If you had the opportunity to join any band, which band would it be and why? And they don't have to be a current band.
Um, Probably the Beatles. I guess they reimagine music, and they're the muse to every band that's come after them. So
Do
yeah,
you listen to the Beatles?
yeah, here and there. I think everyone listens to the Beatles.
All right. I'm a little surprised by that. What's the type of music you listen to the most?
Um, I'd say rock alternative, mostly what I listen to.
All right, back to the more official questionnaire.
Mhm.
What sport would you play if you weren't playing hockey?
Um, Growing up in the paw, you're not really exposed to a lot of sports, so that's naturally I was played hockey. Through school though, I always enjoyed running. I was pretty good at cross country, and I was pretty good at running track. So I thought that's probably a sport I would have pursued had it not been hockey.
How small exactly is your hometown?
Um, it's about 6,000 people, but it's not quite like a suburb. It's more like once you get up into the northern communities, they're all very isolated, and so the nearest town after the pause about an hour and a half drive.
Really?
Yeah, so it's all treed in and surrounded by trees, and you're going between towns. You're just driving by lakes and rivers, essentially.
What's the first thing you would do in a zombie apocalypse?
Um, I think I'd head north to the least populated areas in the world.
Show off some of that running speed.
Yeah, I'd try to.
Your favorite smell?
Oh, favorite smell.
I know it's such a weird question. I was actually thinking about it earlier, and I was like, would bacon be a weird answer?
To most people, no, I wouldn't choose bacon. I would say I love the smell of like a tire shop. If you've ever been in a tire shop,
Really?
yeah, I love the smell of like fresh tires.
Huh. I do know that smell. It's definitely a unique one. I don't
Yeah,
know why I had bacon on my mind earlier, but I was trying to answer that question myself as I was preparing, and I'm like, I wonder if bacon would make some sense. Everybody, like, I feel like everybody smells bacon. They know it's bacon.
yeah, I'd agree with that. But I think we had too much bacon this year at the rink. So,
Most used app on your phone.
um, probably Instagram.
Want to give out your handle?
I think it's Cedar 43. I think. It is.
So you're not posting much. You're just following.
Yeah, mostly.
Do you know anything about these Instagram stories, which I know very little about other than the times I posted during intermission when I was asked to?
Um, I don't know. I try to stay kind of uninvolved in social media. I just like to look from afar and see what people are up to.
What superpower would you have if you could choose one?
Um, I was asked this the other day. I think I would choose between teleportation or flight.
Wait, you were asked this the other day
Yeah.
by
It's
Benny?
unrelated. No, it's unrelated. But I did see this Chafe answer this one somewhere.
Okay. By the way, folks, IowaWild.com, Ben Gisselson did a nice piece as we continue sort of our feature of the Iowa Wild players is a written piece on Monday, and then this interview you're watching on Facebook Live via Zoom on Wednesdays throughout the summer. So again, IowaWild.com for the written piece on Connor Dewar. Great job by Ben Gisselson there, where he uncovered that you at one point you weren't a beekeeper, but you is it an apiary? Is that how you say it?
Apiary, I believe.
And how did you get that job?
My buddy's dad or someone in his family, they own the apiary and they own a bunch of hives and stuff. So that's one of their hustles they have going on the side.
All right. Did you get stung much?
Yeah, probably like 4 or 5 times a night you get stung, but you wear like long
Yeah,
sleeves and stuff and you try to cover up as best you can, but you knew it was coming eventually.
it's crazy. Again, the running speed there might come in handy.
Yeah.
All right, back to the official interview. What's the last text you sent?
To you, actually. I texted you an hour ago. I said 1 hour warning.
Dewey was on his game. I was reminding him from yesterday, this morning. I gave you a 2 hour warning via text. And then with 1 hour left, you said 1 hour warning. And I have to admit, I got a good chuckle out of that. That was well played. Thanks for keeping me on my toes. Your favorite sandwich?
I'd say it differs by the day, but that's hard. My mom makes a good sandwich. She usually put turkey, pickles, cheese, lettuce, tomato, and mayo on rye bread, and a little bit toasted. It's perfect.
Not a lot of people appreciate the rye bread, I feel like.
I know it's so growing up, the my neighbor was the bread man. He delivered bread. That was his business. Is he owned like he'd get the bread shipped to him or whatever. He'd deliver it to all the grocery stores. So we get bread all the time, and he'd always give us rye bread. So that's what I grew up eating.
What's the best type of cheese?
I'm not crazy about cheese. I like cheese, like cheese curds when you're eating with grapes, though. If you ever try them that way.
With grapes?
Yeah, cheese curds and grapes. They go together pretty well.
So you're not dipping in ranch or marinara. You got grapes with your fried cheese curds.
Not fried ones, just
Like cheese chunks. So like a
yeah,
like
I guess
a fancy.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm with you. When I hear cheese curds, having now lived in the Midwest for 8 years, I immediately think of like, Midwest cheese curds.
That's true. There's no deep fried cheese curds up here up north. I've never seen them on any menus or anything. So
What do you think of cheese curds, by the way? The Midwest ones.
I love them. They're awesome.
Do you go ranch or marinara?
I go around. Depends. I'm not picky.
Because I feel like the traditional mozzarella stick that I grew up on was always marinara. Now that could be an East Coast thing. When I got out to the Midwest in Iowa, then it was like ranch was coming with these cheese curds, and it's like sort of mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it both ways.
If you had to be transformed into an animal, which animal would you choose and why?
I think I'd be a great white shark. Like
Just terrorize.
no one's messing with you in the ocean. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. You have $7 at the grocery store. What do you buy?
Is this like a survival situation? Is like $7? I'd probably buy a tub of blueberries or raspberries.
They're expensive. Organic, I'm guessing. If you're spending $7.
Yeah, or I can get one of each if they're cheap.
I'm waiting for somebody to give me the answer, like a 6-pack and a newspaper.
Can you even get that for that much money?
Depends on the beer.
Not in Canada.
The last book you read, what was it?
I'm reading Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen right now. The one I read before it. Oh, Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights. That was the one I read.
How's the Springsteen one?
It's pretty good, actually. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Describe in 5 words what hockey means to you.
Like a sentence or just 5 adjectives?
I'll take either. Chafee went with more adjectives.
Hockey with my friends. Fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
That was well played. Dewey, thanks for doing this again. Happy birthday to you. We look forward to seeing you down the line. All the best in your training. And I'm glad you're through that quarantine up there, brother, and you're seem like you're getting along these days. So it's nice to catch up with you for a few minutes. Enjoy the summer.
Yeah, thank you. Miss you, everyone.
All right, Wild fans, that is Connor Dewar, the recently turned 22-year-old coming off a 12-goal season. Again, IowaWild.com for a written feature each Monday of the summer, and then we'll see you on Wednesday on Facebook Live at 5:30 Central Time. Hope you can tune in next week as well. Until then, take care. Enjoy the offseason.